Companies considering new cost-cutting manufacturing processes often compare the projected results of making the investment against the alternative of not making the investment with cost, selling prices, and share of the market remaining constant. Which of the following, assuming that each is a realistic possibility, constitutes the most serious disadvantage for companies of using method above for the evaluating the financial benefit of new manufacturing process? All right. So what it wants to say that what is assumption about the disadvantage of using this method? It's been what somewhere we have to find out a piece of information that should go against the argument, especially the using this method. If companies considering cost-cutting manufacturing process, it's been what that it is going to get disadvantage instead of getting advantage. All right. So we are going to somehow weaken the passage. All right. So let's go to option one by one. But before we go ahead, what should be approach? Approach is to make notes. All right. So it says that companies considering cost-cutting manufacturing process. So company wants cost-cutting manufacturers, and while doing so, they compare against not making investment, selling prices, and share market of remaining constant. All right. So what is disadvantage of it? Somewhere they will not get benefited. All right. Now let's move to option. The costs of material required by the new process might not be known with certainty. It's been what, instead of talking about what is the disadvantage of considering cost cutting, we are talking about the price of material. All right. Although here it is about against not making investment, not and selling price and share market, right? So it is about the prices. Option A out. In several years, interest rates might go down, reducing the interest cost of borrowing money to pay for the investment. Okay, somehow from the wider range it is okay, but for shorter range or from critical reasoning point of view, it is considered too wide. Why? Because whether they are taking loan or not, we do not know. If we do not know, we cannot assume anything. Hence, be out. Some cost-cutting processes might require such expensive investment that there would be no net gain for many years until the investment was paid for by saving the manufacturing process. Now here it is about expensive investment and then long-term wait, right? So some cost-cutting processes might require such expensive investment. Again, it's been some require expensive investment, some do not require. It's been what it will be unnecessary comparison because we cannot go either side. What is the population of heavy expensive investment and what is the number of not making expensive investment? So it will be very difficult to come to the point. Hence, see out. Competitors that do invest in a new process might reduce their selling price and thus take market share away from the companies that do not invest. It's been what? That the serious disadvantage is what? That competitors do not invest in a process might take away the share market. It's been what? By reducing the price, they can capture the market. So this is the serious disadvantage of using this method. The period of a year chosen for averaging out the cost of the investment might be somewhat longer or shorter, thus affecting the result. So it says that it can affect the result either for the shorter long term or longer term because of investment, and that is actually out of a scope part. Why? Because if we look at from the investment point of view, then we have to look at from the selling point of view, then purchasing point of view, then market sharing point of view. So there will be a lot of assumptions behind it, and hence we cannot assume it. Let's return to option D. What it says that what is the serious advantages for the companies using the method above evaluating the financial benefit? So companies considering cutting manufacture process and against compare the projected result of making investment again not making investment, and selling price and share. So when they start looking at that side where they are looking at the lower side of investment, selling price and share, by the time they look at the competitors can reduce their price and capture the market share, and that will be the serious disadvantage, because by the time they will think they will lose market. Hence D is the answer.